This is Late Night Lee Talks TV. I'm Late Night Lee, and I talk reality TV dating shows such as Married at First Sight, Love is Blind, Ready to Love, The Ultimatum, and Love Island, just to name a few. So if you do enjoy watching that type of content, then please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out on when I upload a new video. Now, let's get into the season finale of season 2 of Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. I just want to say this season finale did not give. It was very lackluster. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. Let me know what you think. Okay, so the episode picks up pretty much where we left off with Nick trying to figure out what was said in regards to the whole, is he flirty? Is he inappropriate? Is he handsy? All those things. Also, I do want to say my last video had a trigger warning because, I wasn't sure how people were going to interpret the whole Nick situation. Now, of course, we're not in the house. We're only seeing things, but I did not believe that he was being inappropriate with Bria, Shanice, or Noelle. And I didn't want to come across as being insensitive or not being a girl's girl. But according to the YouTube streets, the viewers definitely are on Nick's side and feel like the girls did him dirty. So, yes, that explains the trigger warning from the last video because we were going to discuss people being inappropriate, and I just was like, look, I don't feel like Nick was being inappropriate with them. And, I didn't want to seem like I wasn't being a girl's girl. Okay, so when the flashback gets the flashback, and, again, we have to remember that these people are friends. We didn't really see anything crazy. In my opinion, I truly feel like I would have liked for Nick and Amir to say, Shanice, you're being inappropriate. Stop walking around here naked. Like, there's nobody else walking around naked. She just always wants to have, it's too much. And I'm not gay, but even if somebody was walking around naked, I would probably be looking in just horror and just shock, like, why are you naked? What is going on here? This is not a nude house. This is, supposed to be people hanging out, having fun, but she just always, want to start twerking or just being naked. And it's like, people are going to look because for one, they probably going to be like, why the hell is she walking around naked? It's weird. And then, of course, you hear Bria asking Nick in a flashback where they were like sitting in a car asking him to take her to Nobu. And Nick is like, yeah, I'll take you to Nobu. And I don't see it as Nick being inappropriate. Nobu is considered an upscale, fancy restaurant. And, I have friends. I had a male friend who, when I moved to his city where he was from, he was like, yeah, let me take you around, show you the good restaurants and all that. And he invited me to outings with his family. His wife was there. Just when you're in someone's city, when you're in their place of where they are, they kind of want to make sure you have a good time and show you the best. And he seems like he's that kind of person. And, I don't think there was any harm there. I don't feel like we saw any flashback with him and Noelle. But yeah, to me, Bria's comments on sleep support, yeah, that was like, girl. And then he turned it into a joke. And he even said in the joke, yeah, I don't think Simon would like that. But it's like, Bria, stop acting like, Bria basically says if Nick was drunk and you were down, he would do it. He would pretty much mess around with you. And it's like, girl, child. Okay. So Bria walks away and she's like, you're not going to talk to me like that. And pretty much Alex goes back to get her. He tries to calmly tell her, like, they're still discussing this. You don't want to be, not involved in the conversation and not be there to defend yourself. So she goes back. But however, there's no resolution. There's nothing that comes from this. And Nick pretty much is left feeling confused. And the girls all say, well, I didn't say it. Yada, yada, yada. But pretty much no resolution. There's no resolution that they come to. But we do hear Amir say, oh, I'm glad Nick wasn't talking to Natalie like that. Oh, so it's cool for Nick to disrespect for you to feel like Nick is speaking to the black women a little too roughly, but, let that slide. But no, he can't talk to Natalie like that. First of all, if you felt like Nick was being inappropriate in any way, or he was yelling at the black women there, you could have said, bro, just take a breath, calm down for a sec, let's try to remain respectful. But no, Amir, of course he doesn't care, so he's gonna let Nick go off. But Nick had a right to go off because you're talking about his reputation here. I really think that Bravo can very well say, hey, we're not going to invite Nick back to Summer House Martha's Vineyard because Nick has had 2 allegations in 1 season in regards to his behavior. We do not want to have any issues happen in season 3 with him should we invite him back. So in order to avoid this, any future issues, we're just not going to invite him back. That can very well happen. Unless they really tell the truth and be honest in regards to what happened during the reunion, I can totally see Bravo saying, look, we're not going to invite Nick back. We just want to avoid any issues. So these are, unfortunately, these allegations could certainly ruin someone's reputation and their opportunities in the future. So Natalie and Simon, they're getting ready to leave. And when Natalie leaves, Amir says that he can't be himself when she leaves. He likes when she's there so he can fully turn up with her. But he's not happy when she's not there because pretty much he has to constantly defend himself and let her know pretty much he's not doing anything that he shouldn't be doing. And that is so freaking toxic. That is so toxic. And Amir said that his relationship with Natalie is his first serious relationship. So he may not realize it, but that is toxic. It's toxic. If you think about it, the show is only filmed for 15 days. It's 2 weeks. Natalie wasn't there for 1 week. So he couldn't be without her for 1 week. Oh my God, please. It's ridiculous. You can do 1 week. It's not like, you guys know most reality shows, they will take away, I would say the big dating shows or so. They take away someone's ability to use their phones. Maybe Love Island, stuff like that. They don't have their personal devices, so you can't communicate with your family and friends. This show is not that. You can't communicate. So for him to be acting like, oh my God, just 1 week. It's literally 1 week. It's stupid. It's really stupid. And it just shows how toxic Amir and Natalie's relationship is. So Summer decides to leave the house, which is girl, you should have left days ago. You should have really been kicked out if you want to keep it 100. You should have been kicked out after that whole incident. She should have been kicked out, okay? But she decides to leave early, and then she starts talking in code, kind of like what they do a lot on Married at First Sight. I can't stand it. It's I don't want to say exactly what it is, so I'm going to use a bunch of tongue twisters and try to make it sound as elegant as possible and dress it up. And it's girl, just say you need to go because you need to go. And I found it quite comical that Bria told her that she needed to do a cleansing bath. Girl, Bria, you need to be doing a cleansing bath or whatever the hell it is. You need it because you toxic. And I'm going to get on Bria in a second. So also when Summer, goes to leave, Noelle doesn't even care to say goodbye. And I'm thinking, that friendship looked like it's pretty much cracked. Cracked right down the middle. All right, so next we have, they're bringing up the whole situation with Nick talking to the girls again, Bria, Summer, Shanice, and Nick finds out that Natalie was actually the culprit who wanted to talk to Tasia about what they talked about in the backyard. So Amir gets mad because he's like, look, why are you bringing up my girl? Why are y'all bringing up her name if she's not here to defend herself? And in his mind, he feels like, well, Natalie was just sticking to the girl code. She's really big on that, and that's what she felt like she needed to do. First and foremost, he thinks that he's sticking up for her, but it's like, y'all can both go, let's be real. And he really and truly doesn't know either because he wasn't there. He's only going off of what Natalie said. And we know that Natalie was trying to get a moment. She was trying to get a moment on this TV show. And she started drama pretty much. And this whole questioning of Tasia and Natalie being friends, let's stop that please right now. Nick and Amir are friends. They both have girlfriends, okay? So when they hang out and they're with their girlfriends, then their girlfriends are around each other. And I'm sure Tasia is a lovely girl and she is cordial and friendly with Natalie. But her and Natalie are not friends. Because if that really was her good friend, she would have been receptive to talking to Natalie when Natalie tried to pull her for a conversation and tell her about what the girls were saying Nick was doing. Okay? But Tasia did not want to talk to Natalie because Tasia do not mess with Natalie like that. Okay? And pretty much in Tasia's head, that's my man's friend's girlfriend. That's not my friend. Okay? So this whole thing about, well, that's her friend and it's the girl code, like, no. Natalie is just somebody she knows because her boyfriend knows Amir. Like, that is it. So Amir gets super angry. They start arguing again. And I'm pretty much like, okay, I'm done with this conversation. Why y'all keep having this conversation? Like, we're done with this. Please wrap this up. It's a Reynolds wrap. And I do agree with Bria. Bria was saying, let it go. And just admit that your girl was being messy. But also, Bria, you were being messy and you were lying. Those flashbacks show us what you kept saying about Nick. If, he had the opportunity, he would. And I hope they address it at the reunion. But Bria did something that pisses me off when she calls Nick Urkel. And it was like, why would you call somebody out their name like that? But you know what? If Nick better than me, because I would have been like, girl, that leave out is atrocious. I am sick and tired of these black women coming on these shows, these reality TV shows, and they have these leave outs. A leave out is not for everybody. A leave out is not for everybody. If you are going on a reality show, get you a full sew-in or get you some braids. Ain't nothing wrong with some braids. But her leave out is constantly looking a mess. Like, that's the reason why black women wear wigs. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. The amount of work that we have to do to maintain our real hair, everybody does not want to do that. And Bria clearly doesn't want to do it because her leave out looks a mess. Girl, just get a full lace wig. Now, Bria got long hair, so I understand, but That wasn't working. The way that leave out was left all the way out. Get some braids. And I'm talking to all other black women that go on these shows. Either you're going to wear your real hair out in its entirety, or just get braids. Something's wrong with getting some micro braids so you don't have to worry about your hair, or get a full, lace wig. But yeah, when your leave out looking all the way left out, don't be calling nobody else names, Bria. That's not cool. Anyway, now I'm about to go off. Okay? Bria and the girls start talking about where to find a man in New York and whatever, good spots to go to. And AKA, they mean a man with some money, right? Let's keep it a buck. However, Bria says Simon is not her soulmate. Her soulmate is in Tribeca. But she will probably go ahead and marry Simon. And I was thinking that is an awful thing to say. Now, I've been watching reviews, okay? And people are saying, well, a soulmate is this and a soulmate is that, so she might be right. And da-da-da-da. No. Bria's simple-minded ass was pretty much saying, when people talk about a soulmate, they talk about like the love of their life, right? The person who they feel like they were just meant to be with. She specifically was talking about a specific person. She said a person in Tribeca. She said, my soulmate is in Tribeca. How do you know that? You're talking about, some random, we don't know if he's random. He's probably not random. But you are talking about somebody who is probably an ex who you feel like is your soulmate. He probably don't want your toxic ass. And you settle with Simon because he keeps putting up with your bullshit. Which she said in the previous episode, I don't want to let our relationship go because Simon really, puts up with me. And yeah, girl, if I were Simon, the relationship would be over. You don't feel like he's your soulmate. His family is supposedly racist towards you. Why are you with this man? Now, some people say like, oh, he's a millionaire. I don't think Simon's a millionaire. Because if you guys remember clearly, the first couple episodes, he was complaining about the ticket prices to get from Germany to Martha's Vineyard. What millionaire complaining about prices for plane tickets to go from Europe to the U.S.? Like I don't think he's a millionaire. Yeah, I think he does well for himself, yes. But as far as the millionaire, I don't think so. Now, it was so disrespectful, y'all. So I asked my fiance, I was like, what would you do if, like how do you feel about somebody saying that whole soulmate thing? And he was like, no, that's crazy. That's messed up for her to do that. And I was thinking, yeah, good. Let's be on board. Because when most people talk about their soulmate, they really do think like that one person who like just truly got them, who they feel like really was that person for them. But here's the thing. Your soulmate is not the person who don't want to be with you. I don't care how much you love that person, how well you think you connect with that person. If they are not with you, if they don't want to be with you, if they broke up with you, that is not your person. That's not your soulmate. Okay? So anyway, if I ever heard my partner talking like that, baby, I would be single. Because you ain't about to have me out here feeling like a consolation prize. Poor Simon. Alex has his singing event, right? Or right before that, did they go bike riding or something like that? That was the last episode. But we hear Shanice randomly in the car talking about, I can't wait to get out of here so I can go get some D. And it's just like, girl, that's all you care about. I cannot stand Shanice. I'm sorry. Shanice gives that crazy hoe friend vibe, and I don't like that. We are not, in our late teens or early 20s anymore. These people are in their late 20s, early 30s. Like, you just want to just have random sex with random men. And, if she wants to do that, fine. But I don't want to constantly hear it. And I hope she's using protection. That's all I got to say. Um, but it's just giving wild child. I don't care for that kind of behavior. I couldn't be friends with somebody like that. That's just risky behavior. Okay, so Alex has a singing event, and pretty much it seemed like it was a flop. People didn't really seem to care for it. They were painting, and it just wasn't really giving what it was supposed to have gave, to be quite honest. Jasmine hosts her dinner. They have the impressions of each other. Didn't really care for that. That was a bit boring. But during that time, Bria says, like, oh, yeah, I don't like to argue. And it's like, what? Bria don't like to argue? All Bria does is argue. Bria argues, curses people out, and when she's losing the argument, she walks away. So everybody, they go their separate ways, say their goodbyes, go their separate ways. At the end of the show, we see that Jasmine has had her baby, named baby Silas Jr., and Silas was able to come back 16 hours after the baby gave birth, came back from Eastern Europe, from deployment, and he was able to hold his baby. Now, I'm not going to lie, y'all, I was very much teary-eyed. Very much like, oh my God, seeing soldiers come back from deployment, that always gets me. It always gets me because, y'all, this is the crazy world we live in, and leaving your home and coming back home, just going to work and coming back home, or going to the store and coming back home is not guaranteed. So if he's in Eastern Europe, we all know what's going on over there. I don't know how close he is to Russia and Ukraine, but, it was pretty much, we don't know exactly where he was, but you never know, period. And for her to go through her whole pregnancy with him deployed and, pretty much, well, I'm sure she had her family because she damn sure didn't have her friends from the show. But, it was really touching, but that's a lot to deal with, to go through your first pregnancy solo, even though you're married. Your husband, of course, couldn't be there. And yeah, it was a lot. Now, I will say this. I was not a fan of Silas because he's extremely toxic. He claims that watching the show, seeing the viewers' comments, he claims that he was going to therapy and he was going to change. And he apologized to Jasmine and her family and how he acted. And I really hope that that's true, because how he acted was just so toxic. And when you're in a relationship with someone like that, well, when you're in a marriage with a toxic person, it's very hard to get out of. But then when you have a kid, that it makes it 20 times harder, because you really technically can't forever get out of that person's life. You have to have custody schedule and all of that. So, we'll see. It looks like they did start casting for season 3, and they were casting for single men because that's what we need. I think Alex can go, and we don't know if Nick is going to be asked back. So we need some single men in the house. I think a lot of the women can go, to be honest. I feel like Jordan gave absolutely nothing this season. Summer didn't care for her either. Here's the thing. Y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all don't be mad at me. But Jasmine, by the time they start filming, it'll probably be like August, right? Jasmine's baby will be probably like around 8 months. Jasmine not leaving her baby at home for 2 weeks. Do we want to see a married couple with a baby in Summer House, Martha's Vineyard? We don't even want to see couples there. Like, we want to see single people who are ready to mingle. So, comment down below your thoughts. What you guys think? Because honestly, I don't see a couple with a baby being a good fit for this show. I just don't. And I don't think that Jasmine will leave her baby alone for 2 weeks to film this show. Comment down below your thoughts, honey. It's going to get juicy. I don't know. All right, so the reunion trailer just dropped. I saw the reunion trailer, And it looks like they're gonna get into some things. Okay, a lot of people are wearing pink. I did see that. I thought Noelle had the best look as well as Nick. Nick and Noelle, I like their looks the best. We will see. According to Preston, I know he's doing some interviews right now. He said that Summer gets the most heat, but I think a lot of the heat needs to be on Summer, Bria, and Amir for the whole Natalie situation. But according to Preston, Amir did not take accountability for that situation either. From the previews, he looks like he's shocked the whole time with his mouth wide open. Of course, he made the comments about not being sure if he wants to come back for season 3 if Natalie isn't full time. Here's the thing. This is supposed to be a Black show. So just because, you want to date outside of your race, no. Especially because she came in the show and she started drama. But he knows that his relationship will not survive if Natalie can't be full-time in the show. I'm sure Natalie is breathing down his neck to talk to Bravo and make sure she comes back full-time. Because that girl's toxic. And I'm sure she's trying to get her hooks in. Child, this thing is a mess, but we will see. We will certainly see what happens at the reunion. Stay tuned for that, airing on Sunday, and I will certainly be reviewing it. Hopefully, again, they force Miss Bria to take accountability. I thought about this show, and I said, I really don't care for a lot of the people on this cast besides Nick, Noelle, and Preston. Everybody else, I'm like, y'all could go. Because let's be honest, Jasmine really didn't bring much of anything to this season, and neither did Jordan. Alex had the first couple of episodes, but that was it. And then last season, I forgot he was there. So yeah. Comment down below your thoughts. This is Late Natalie Talks TV. I do appreciate you guys watching the video. If you made it this far, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. This is a new channel, so I do need the love and support. So please subscribe. And if you comment, I'll comment back. Let's start a chat. This is Late Natalie Talks TV. I'm Late Natalie, and I'm signing out.